Why, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, more like good afternoon and good evening to you all. I'm so happy to see you here. My name is Paul Trani. I'm going to dive into today's design masterclass. It's all about 2D, 3D sort of mashup, if you will. That's a current design trend, and I thought it'd be fun to cover. So I'm glad you guys are here. Hello, Wade, I see you there. Michelle's in the house. Can I just say hello? And I'm just like so happy to see you guys, like seriously. Yeah, I just like, they gave me the options like, Paul, you want to live stream today? Like, yeah, of course. So good to see you, Afrosia, Elizabeth, and everybody. This will be fun because it really is also a mashup of like a bunch of apps as well. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad you are here. So hello, Lauda, I see you as well. Hello there. Cool. So this should be fun. Again, this is a design trend, so I'm gonna. Thank you so much for that message. Michelle, audio and video are good. That's the most important message I could see today. But I'll switch over to my screen. As you can see, Nick Longo is the man. I'm going to try to channel my best Nick Longo as I work on this, because him being an Illustrator master amongst many things, you know, when we think 2D, we'll often think of Illustrator. But you can see some of this work right in here. And again, this is from Graphic Mama, but this is a trend that I've seen on multiple websites when they talk about graphic design trends for 2022. But this is from Graphic Mama, just so you know, design trends. And this was one that just stood out to me. A lot of fun animation, of course, that you see. And this should be good. So, oh yeah, my hair looks good. It's wind blown because I just like was on my bike, so it's like whoosh, just blew it all back. But yes, of course 3D here again, not so much 2D 3D mashup. I think this is like a 2D 3D mashup, something like this, but this flat style mixed with 3D is pretty awesome. Also know. Tying these two together is the tricky part. A flat style with a 3D style, how do you do that? And how they're doing it typically is with color. So just so you know. Again, right in here, we can see that stuff moving around, sort of like animated GIFs. Pretty cool. You guys get the idea. So let's just have some fun. And I'm glad you're here. I could also post that link if you guys are interested. Let me just bring it back up and I'll just copy it and paste it over. But we'll start in Illustrator, right? Quite simply, and get this party started, as we say. I'm just gonna kind of create just a fun background, just so we're not dealing with something like, you know, just something so bland, you know. I'm gonna try to stick with some fresh colors, right? It's a little sandy, maybe a little bit muddy, right? Let's make sure we dip more into the yellow to warm it up, and that orange, right? There we go, like more of a sand color. Let's just have some fun today. Let's get into teal. So typically, even when I pick colors, once I pick them over here, I keep that same saturation or lightness or intensity of color, and then I just adjust accordingly, roughly. So, but I kind of want to dip into the teal a little bit, and then again just kind of tweak it accordingly. I won't vary too far from this general area, and just, yeah, I don't know, we'll do that. Why not? Magic trick, of course. Command D, once you do that, yes, you probably make that same sound effect or something similar, right, as you start to duplicate things. There we go. Let's get this party started. Command Shift H, boom. Let's work, and we're just going to make a fun sort of abstract background that's going to be flat to begin with. And boy, it did not paste that, yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for that, Wade. All right. Awesome. Andrew, good to see you. Thank you so much for the kind words. Yeah, transform again. It's like so easy and so nice. I duplicated these layers because I just want to create a fun abstract background. I'm going to do that right over here by jumping into, I don't know, maybe the warp tool, which is really fun, right? Warp tool. We'll select that. Color doesn't matter. The size does, right? This is my current size for this warp brush. But if you hold down the Option key, you can adjust the size and whether it's sort of wider or taller, whatever the case may be. If you want to maintain the proportion while holding down the Option key, hold down the Shift key and just do something like that. So again, we're just going to experiment. We're going to play. Hey, why not? Let's have some fun today. Pushing around things, right? All this stuff. Command H. There we go. You know, Shift. Let's make it a little bigger. Let's get even more wavy, cool stuff. I'm not going to worry too much about the edges, but I just thought this would be a fun, like, abstract background to kind of start with. Okay, something like that. If we want to give it more depth, too, and let's make sure that's rendering okay. If we want to give it something like a little more depth, we can go into pucker or bloat, right? Doesn't really matter. Let's go into pucker. Pucker's going to pinch them like so. Super intense. Let's change that intensity. I'm going so fast. I got to calm down. I'm just happy to be here, guys, honestly. Oh, yeah. So you might know somebody who uses some for animation. Like, great idea, too, Elizabeth. Like, once this, I mean, this stuff is vector. We could easily take this into After Effects. Since these are solid shapes and lines, we could start to animate that stuff. That's not for today, but I'm all about it. Okay, so there we go. Just kind of change the intensity, right? And it's still awfully strong. And I'm just kind of showing this because I think it's kind of neat. But there's your pucker. Your pucker will kind of tighten up. Hold down the Option key. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let's do that again. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. The question is, how can I change from the pucker to the bloat? Well, anyways. So anyways, pucker, bloat. And my point in saying a lot of this, again, if I wanted this to just kind of be a little bit more depth right there, you get the idea. I can use those options and basically showing you those tool options. Yes, you got it. Rick H is in the house. What's up, Rick? Good to see you, man. Awesome. Good to have you here. That's right, buddy. Oh, I just broke it. So, yeah, it's like Liquify for Illustrator. There we are. We're going to bring in some additional elements. I think when you think of 2D, 3D, I want to kind of clash the old with the new as well. But let's make some 3D elements, right? So we'll jump in here. We'll just grab an ellipse. Why not? There's our lovely circle. Okay, we'll even shift it into a different color just so it stands out a little bit better. And we don't want like this flat 2D sphere. Yeah, we could have that, but we want to take this to the next level. In fact, let's just delete that side. Let's just make this a one-stroke line. As you can see, you know, there it is, right? There's that stroke. And then we'll go into our 3D and materials panel and get this party started. All right. Yeah, Kevin, I just got done. Stopped drinking coffee a half hour ago. So we're going to go ahead and revolve this. Ring, there it is. Left edge. Nah, let's make it right edge. And there we have our 3D object, right? Again, this makes it super easy. We can do this with 1,000 things as we kind of create some more shapes as well. So we'll jump in here. By the way, you ready for this magic? Since I've already applied that, I'm going to just go ahead and draw that. Oh, look at that. It already creates these additional shapes. Let's do, see what happens if I do a star, right? So I'm just kind of creating these random shapes. Why is it doing it? Well, it's actually creating the revolve, right? Because that's the last used effect. But it's applying, this is why I have this appearance set up. What's going on here is like, it's not reducing art back down to its basic appearance, right? So anything I have in here, it will carry over to the next thing I draw, okay? So that's all I'm doing there. Let's add some more points, So what this is, even though you can't really tell, this is actually a star. That's what this crazy thing is. Yeah, that's right. That's a crazy star. That's nuts. I know, isn't life crazy, folks? Life's crazy. There we go. Let's get a good color. Very pastel-y today. Even a little muted. I probably need to punch up all these colors. But hopefully that makes sense, huh? Isn't that fun? And again, that's just the star. There we go. We could do this with 1,000 different things. But it's cool how we could make this sort of stuff pretty easily. And even from there, again, this is a 3D object. It's going to get really trippy. Let's see. Kind of rotate that around. These are all 3D objects that have their own environment, basically. But yeah, that's how that works. Okay. If I wanted to just create a cube, I would have to come down here, and this is what I would do. You could draw a cube. Let me do this really fast. This is technically a cube. So we'll go in here, and you know what? We'll just go ahead and reduce to basic appearance. Oh, there's our lovely rectangle, right? Finally, a great use for starbursts. Oh, starbursts. Everybody's like, oh, can you add more starbursts to that? I think it'd be really cool. If we could just really have everything on the page or every part of this thing that you're making, if you could make it all jump out at me, that'd be great. Okay, let's extrude that, right? We can see what we're doing there. You guys get the idea. I'm going to go with something like a little bit more abstract. Actually, this is already pretty darn abstract, but I'll kind of show you what I want to do, okay? Yeah, very Miami Vice. I'm in these vibes, by the way. In fact, I might even sort of adjust the color for everything because for one, it just needs, we really need to punch up the color, right? So let's just go ahead and punch up the color for everything. Bam, there we are. Okay. Just recolor artwork, right? We have these two colors. Well, they're close. Our eye kind of wants to make them the same color. So that's what I'm doing, just pulling them together. What if I actually wanted to use this same color for these two? Well, I could put that on top. Yeah, don't do that. Go into assign. Oh, here we are. Hey, this color here. Hey, just go ahead and bop, drop it down there. Ba-da. There we are. So now this color is no longer being used. Whatever was this color and was this color is now this color, right? So now we'll go into edit. At least that should be how it works. Let's go 3 color. Why does that say 1? Am I? So that should do it. Oh, people. Okay, so actually this color right here was that second color. So anyways, we basically are combining colors that way. Anyways, kind of crank that up. You get the idea. If I want it to be only 3 colors, I can go in and change this down to 3 colors, right? And now we have those colors tying together that we can then adjust. All right, so yeah, let's kind of move on. Miami Vice, very much so. My goal is to kind of brighten this up too. Let's do that. There we go. Click OK. And let's kind of make some more 3D things that I think would be fun. This is just some flat stuff, some flat graphics, some 3D content. I want to do something around statues, right? So again, maybe it's very vaporwave-ish, you know, because these are 3D, but I want to do some like cool statues that are sort of have that same Miami Vice lighting. Okay. So there's a number of models that you can get out there, by the way. So stock.adobe.com. Let's make sure, hopefully I'm logged in. Oh, Ocean Pacific. Oh, OP. Stony Braswell. Going back old school. Remember OP? Ocean Pacific. Ooh, skip tour. All right, here's some 3D objects that are, or excuse me, just things that look 3D that are actually just free images. Let's do something like statue. Okay, we'll type in statue. we have this set to free, but we're going to change this to, say, 3D. And I'm really into that, too. I'm going to use a David kind of like that, just so you know. But let's change this to 3D. Let's see what we have for 3D content. And I already have some stuff downloaded, by the way. See how this is already licensed, right? It's still free, but you can go ahead and download that like so. Done. Oh, no, Chris, I'm sorry you keep getting kicked out of Adobe. Are you making some really bad designs? And Adobe's like, whoa, your app's like, whoa, you gotta up your design game if I'm gonna let you back into Photoshop. I'm kidding, of course. I don't know why that's happening, but I'm sure that's very frustrating, and I'm sorry. All right, so we're gonna have statues. We're gonna have some text in here, so let's just do that really fast. Some Roman numerals, right? Because again, it's going to be old meets new. Let's go out to the web. I think I have some Latin phrases. I really like this phrase, deeds, not words. Acta non verba. Again, just going to put some text in here, and we're making a cool it's going to be like David riding that vapor wave, if you will. Okay? So we just have a couple elements. All right, let's move on. Yeah, acta non verba. That's just a cool phrase. So just so you know, like I said in the beginning, just like we're dealing with 2D and 3D, we're going to take it to the next level in Photoshop and even say Adobe Substance Stager. Just so you know, what you can do is you could take any one of these elements that you've already made. Say you really like this one. This one's pretty cool, right? It's like, oh, I like to use this in other apps. And let me kind of also just open up a previous file just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you this really fast. So I did this earlier, a couple days ago. Said, hey, you know what? I did this on the live stream. Started here, right? May the 4th unite us all. Okay, and I said, oh, this would be really cool if I could kind of make this 3D and just kind of bring it to life some more. Kind of ended up with this. Sure, this text gets a little lost, I'm perfectly aware of that. But for an Instagram, hey, that's okay. Right, if we take a look at those files, right, the same way I've extruded the square and all that other stuff, let's go into Star Wars. Into that file. And I'm sorry it's not open, but I'm going to just open it up really fast. Kind of like what we're doing here. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Here is that text, and you can see it's just extruded slightly. Not even that much. All right? So we could do something similar with some of this text as well, if we decide we want to format it better and make something cooler out of it. I'm not even sure this. Actually, let's get this font squared away. You ready for this? What do I have? I'm going to go to my favorites. Oh, yeah. Come on now. Are you with me, folks? Look at this. Look at how gorgeous that is. So this is called Brand. It's a font I've been using, which I just think is awesome. I also like Brams as well. So we got a couple different choices. That's not bad. A little too swooshy. A little too, what's the word I'm looking for? A little too plain. This isn't bad. So yeah, what do you guys think? Maybe you're into some of these. This one's not bad as well. Vigran. And typically what I would do in this case is I would probably have all of these pasted throughout my artboard. But I think we'll just go with that. There we are. Acta non verba. Let's say we like this so much. Let's say we've formatted this a little bit differently, okay? Maybe I can kind of cheat up this spacing. You know, let's make it 320. You know, we could have our phrase like so. Okay, taking this, 3D, and materials, and sure enough, extrude. If it wasn't black, if it was a different color, you'd probably be able to see that a little bit better, and sure enough, we could change the color like so. So there we go. We have this sort of 3D-ness, if you want. From there, let's give it a little bit of bevel. And I think I'm going to change this to more of a gray, to be honest with you. But there we are. I just made a 3D object. I guess that's my point of all of this. Like, I just made this 3D object, right? I want to jump into good old Substance 3D Stager or Dimension, but I want to go into a 3D program. And just to prove that this is actually a 3D object, we can go to Asset Export. Okay, you ready for this? Oh, I love all my fonts, huh? I don't know. I recently bought a lot of fonts, and I'm into way too many of them. So check this out. For whatever you have selected, let's take this, let's drag it into our Asset Export panel. Drop it in there. So there we are. And notice right down here, rather than exporting it as a flat file, we can export it as an OBJ. So that's how you take something that you created in Illustrator that is 3D, and you can export it out. There we are. Export it out to the desktop. Done. Same thing for that other wacky shape. What about this one? Right, we'll take this, drop it in there. And keep in mind, you do have to select it. So since this one is selected, we'll just call this burst. It will just export that item that is selected there. Just output it like so. So now we have two objects that we created in 3D that we can now use in Substance 3D Stager. Where did I get my fonts? I got these from Pixel Surplus. Just so you know. That's where like my latest batch came from, just so you know. I got the custom type collection from Pixel Surplus. And these are all of the different styles, as you can see. Just very cool. Very cool look. Okay. Pixel Surplus. Shout out to them. All right, so we have that created. I've also exported all that stuff out, and I brought that into Stager as well. We can jump into Stager. Here we are. Right, sure enough. In fact, let's just make this easy on ourselves. Move this over. Let's grab our acta non verba, drop it in. And there we are. In fact, let's hit that little button there. Let's get rid of the ground plane. Turn that off. And there's our, let's throw some terrazzo on it. Oh, shoot. You know what I deleted? I deleted something. I'm going to create new. Yeah, I was jacking with stuff earlier. There we go. Okay, so that's in there. Boom. Boom. Let's go to environment. Ground plane, turn that off, and there we have sort of our text, right? So, yeah. So now I have this in Stager. I personally think Stager is going to give me a lot more control. Keep in mind that in Illustrator, I could always take this same content and I can render it out as well. So taking that, we can go right, we can play with the lighting and all that stuff, which is like super fun, especially the shadows. So let's turn on shadows. And then let's hit this little render button, by the way. So turn on ray tracing, render, low quality, and it will render out that piece, as you can see in a second. It makes it a vector, excuse me, a raster object. Actions, not words. Rob, you got it. Again, we're going to do a sort of a David and Goliath sort of situation where he's like, you know what, I could take this big guy out. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for life. You know, just because the guy's bigger than you, you got him. All right, so we'll let this render out. In fact, I don't even need to wait for it. I could jump back into Stager while it does its thing, right, and continue to work. Oh, but it's already done. Let's go back in there and see what it looks like. There it is. There it is. So now it's rendered out. It looks so much more crisp, by the way. Yeah, just kind of renders out all those shadows and all that stuff. So anyway, let's move on. Let's have some fun today. I also use, you guys probably have your own resources. I've also used Turbo Squid and Pixel Squid. Turbo Squid for free models, right? So 3D, we could do statue. And then just go right over here, go to price, just change that to free. And all of a sudden, here's a bunch of free models. So again, there's David as well, but we're just going to use a bust of him. But again, this is all free stuff, at least in half of these columns. All right. Same thing with Adobe Stock, right? In fact, let's do this. I'm going to just hit return. I have it filtering by 3D, and there's over 1,000 3D models available, which is awesome. Okay. All right. I have that done. Let's see. Where is my David? Where's my David? Rob. Let's go to nature. David did bring a rock to a sword fight. Don't you hate it when that happens? So much stuff. Statues. Okay, it's okay. Oh yeah, I know where it is. 3D. Statues. David bust. There he is. Oh, fantastic. OBJ, drop it in. I'm going to do some really fun things with this. I love this idea. So there that is. There's our little David hanging out down there. It's okay. I'm just going to resize this because this is absolutely huge. Holding down the shift key. Bring it down. Right? 0, 0 point? Yeah, let's get it there. All right, just putting everything right there in the center. Hit this little button right up at the top. This will frame the selection. An essential button. There we are. Bam, we're back. Okay, there we are. We have this text. Let's continue to shrink it down, and we'll see what we do with that. But there we are. We have our cool David, which I want to add more to this, by the way. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in a different background. Yeah, good old David did pretty darn well, huh? Considering, you know, it's pretty impressive what David was able to do. Just like a basically a slingshot and a rock. Okay, let's jump in here. Let's take this design that we were working with. So the reason the reason you're even seeing these gaps in here, like that stuff, there's those little notches, it's because I have those lines underneath as well. So sometimes when you push things around, you know, you have little gaps. Nonetheless, let's take this. let's take a look at the size of our canvas and let's just export this out really fast. We'll just export this out. This is going to be our background. We'll just call it artboard 1. Done. Take that, drop it in here as our background. There we are. Again, blending. Some 2D with 3D is the goal. 1080 times 2. There we go. Did you notice how in every Adobe app, if you need to do any sort of basic like mathematical operations, you could do it right within these dialogues. 1350 times 2. I usually do sort of Instagram portrait size times 2, basically. So this is the size that I kind of end up working at. Okay, so there we are. Looks good. There's David. Let's get this party started. Let's do some cool stuff with him. We're still going to add some of those flat elements, but we're going to bring this into Photoshop to do that. But rather than having just like David hanging out like so, I could add some different materials to it. I personally like the material that's on it now. I just want like just a plain, you know, maybe we'll throw some terrazzo. Let's see what happens if this will make it look more like stone. Oh, that's horrible. Pretend like you did not see that. That was bad. Times 2. There we go. All right. So let's do this. Let's have some fun with this. You ready for this, Ryan? Ryan, good to see you, man. I'm going to save this as David because, right, we've created 3D objects from 2D objects, but now I want to take some 2D objects and, yeah, we could put it in any one of these, but I want to take some 2D objects, some 2D graphics, basically, and bring them and map them onto the 3D. So, like, I have this stuff. I have this flower, which might be kind of cool. I have a hand. I have some of those Roman numerals. Sunglasses. There's that text again. In fact, I kind of want to take this. Yeah, let's see how this looks. I can't figure out if I want to go with like color or black and white, but I'm making this like tattoo design. Okay, so we might try a couple things. We might try a color one, we might try a black and white one. First thing we need to do is connect this right here. There we go. We'll just do something like that. Take this. We got our lovely flower. Let's put it in our libraries panel. And we'll get this mapped onto the statue just for fun. Ryan is in the house. Let's just put this in nature. I have way too much stuff in here. Drop it on in there. Call this Rose. Let's get some other elements. Let's grab this. Drop it in here. Let's take that phrase. So we did acta non verba. Let's just like clean this up. Wait for it. Find our cool font. There's our cool font. And drop it in there as well. There that is. Cool. All right. So we got a couple elements. Maybe we'll grab this happy face. We'll put that in there. Sorry if things going so slow, but I have like so many apps running right now. All right, here everything is. Let's take our flower, for instance, and let's make sure we get our like black and white flower, right? Our just like outline. Drop it in over here. You know why this sticks out to me is I'm thinking of a song by Joyce Manor. Oh, why did I do that? There's a song called Heart Tattoo, so that's why I have this like rose. Their lead singer actually has a rose on his neck, and I think it looks pretty cool. So that's kind of where this like I guess this inspiration's coming from. He has a cool rose tattoo on his neck. So we'll take this and we'll drop it right on the statue. I'm going to make it look so cool. There it is. That's a little big. Good times. Scale it down. Way too big. There we go. And again, we could put it like right there, something like that. I don't know, is that cool? Let's take this text, drop it in here. Wait for it. Wait for it. This is one issue you'll run into is... Let's actually see how many apps I have running. Yeah, I got a lot. Okay, let's try this one more time. In fact, let's drop it over here. It is just taking a little bit of time. To get this to show up. All right, let's just do this butterfly. Let's try a different shape altogether. Okay, finally. I don't know why that text is... It just, oh, I wonder if it actually thinks it's actually text. Let's scale this down. All right, I figured out the issue. Yep. All right, just so you know, when you drag things in there, and it wasn't, I thought it was going to be a RAM issue or something, but it actually brings this in as text. So what I can do is I could add this. So what I was doing, it was adding it as text because that's exactly what it is. And I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Interpret this as a graphic. So add it as a graphic. Clicking right there. Wait for it. There we go. Now it comes in as artwork. That's the issue. Right? Same thing for that text, wherever it is, right here. this plus button, add it as a graphic. There we are. Oh, we figured it out. Fantastic. So again, I don't know if I kind of like the color version. Would you agree? I'm kind of into the rose. I'm into the colorful artwork. Is like the colorful tattoos seem to kind of capture my eye a little bit more. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'll go down to this artwork. Let's drop it on. Boom. There it is. It's working now. Shrink it down. Yeah, what do you guys think? You thinking, so yeah, so colorful ones are more fun. Okay. Wade also says color vibes. All right. Good to know. So let's work on a little bit more of that. And let's just see what I have. I have a number of things. I think we'll be okay. Oh yeah, let's grab some of these maybe. What else do we have? All right, some of this content is already vector. Oh, and I like all of this. So yeah, I would go through this whole process of probably, yeah, here's actually some that I've made. Here's one. Let's drop this in. Let's place a copy. There we are. Oh yeah, let's do our colorful butterfly, right? In fact, let's do this using a live paint bucket. We'll go in, we'll take a look at our colors. Let's throw some red. We know we have red in there. There we go. And I get it. I could do 1/2 and then flip it if I want to, but let's just jump in and add some of this, like so. Let's get some yellow. Let's hurry up, hurry. Let's throw some green in there. Yeah, why not? Maybe some orange. Let's get some purple or some blue. There we go, there's purple. Let's go back to our yellow. Throw yellow in there. Okay, good. That's good. Maybe that's too much, but that's okay. All right. Cool, we got that. Let's take it. Let's chop this guy in half. Sorry, buddy. Chabam. Oh. Oh, not quite. Oh, because it's deleting all of that. I don't even know if I like these colors. Did I do a horrible job here? I'm not really impressed with all of this. I'm just not impressed. But there's a way to fix it. There's always a way to fix this stuff. All right, let's take this. Let's see what happens if I go in here. And you know what? Let's just subtract. Okay, because it thinks that it needs to be expanded. That's the problem. It just needs to be expanded. There we go. Sorry, everyone. I'm just coloring this again. I think the colors were just like too all over the place. I definitely need some red because I need it to match the rose. There we go. Okay, that took longer than expected. There we are. Okay, we did it. And what do I see here? What? That's another one I've already made. So you can see I've done this 1,000 times. Like, look at this one. That one's already done. Yeah. Oh, did it grab the... Oh, I think it's fine. All right. Oh, brother. Some days. Some of these need so much color. Okay, let's get back to our design. Let's check our time. Oh, I only have like 10 minutes. Oh, shoot. There's never enough time. Good seeing you, Umacorn. Thanks so much. This is a Friday, and we're just hanging out, making some cool artwork. Let's drop that on there. And we'll ultimately render this out and bring it into Photoshop is the idea. All right, you get the idea. We'll take this, we'll have this match our, like the color scheme a little bit better for our like vaporwave, cool, you know, bright colors. So in order to do that, I'm gonna jump into our various, as you can see right here, our lights, okay? So what this light actually does, and let me click on environment. I'm going to show you what's going to happen when I apply this. Let's go to lights. This is currently the environment light. It's just like all gray, right? Oh, sorry, this is moving so slow. But let's grab this Studio 80s, right? And we'll apply it by clicking on it. Sure enough, it changes the color. We get those color casts. And if I start to increase the reflectivity, we'll start to see even more of those colors sort of stand out. But what it does right over here is basically puts that environment light right there. So that's where the image actually goes. If I decide I want to use the background as a light, we'll just move this over. We'll go back to our lovely 2D like artboard image. It's that background. And let's drop that right there. In fact, I might need to open it up. Oh, sorry, right here. I got to drop it right here. Bingo. And we'll just see what this looks like. So this is the same background we have. Obviously, like, tints everything more green than anything. So, yeah, that's okay. Let's go into our material for good old David. And let's add just, like, some more, like, depth in here. Struggle is real today. All right, let's crank up sort of the metallicness of this. We'll just play with these base colors. And there's a number of other parameters we can work with too. Say, for instance, the sheen. And I actually probably need to play with the lighting as well. Because I'm actually not crazy about this this green. There we go. Let's take down the roughness. So you're starting to see a little bit more of the background being reflected in the statue at this point. But again, we kind of need more lights too. Right up here at the top, so rather than going to sort of an image-based light, we have these additional lights. We can throw a spotlight in there, a directional light, right? Let's add a directional light. Say, boom, there it is. You can see what that does, and it starts to bring out those highlights. I'll add another directional light. The second one, I'm gonna actually shift, and let's rotate it. So it's going to come from the other side. Again, it's way too shiny, but this definitely like helps me kind of get an idea for where this light is coming from. Okay, so for this directional light, we'll jump in. We'll change the color as well. We'll dip into more of that yellow. So you can see that yellow light kind of being highlighted. Okay. Weird, it does look plastic. That's exactly right. I get it. It doesn't look good. I know it doesn't look good. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's fix that. We'll go back down to our default. And yeah, this is where I cranked everything up a second ago. Because that was before I added the lights. We really couldn't see anything. So let's just kind of take these down. Bring up the roughness. See, there we go. This is more like it. So see that? I kind of want something like that. That's looking better already. Okay. Easy enough. Still needs to be rendered out. I still need to do the whole composition. And I really need to start adding you know, some cooler like tattoo elements, as you can see here. So that's kind of what I need to work on, is adding color to these branches and things. So again, I was hoping I would get farther in this situation, but not so much. Remember our text? There it is. Yeah, it's kind of a satin look. That is correct, Stony. I see ya. So again, I kind of want to do just like a little bit of a distortion right there. There we go. Yeah, this needs some more work. It does. But again, you can kind of see where it's headed. I might do just a quick render and see what I could do in Photoshop, because you know what? That's what I do when I only have 5 minutes left. Is I hustle. I make it happen. Let's go to draft. Let's render this out. It's going to be called David. Put it on my desktop. Click render. Go into Photoshop right in here. Those same elements we could start dropping in on top of it if we want to. But this usually is where I do my final like compositing. It's in good old Photoshop. All right. Oh, no, Misty, I'm sorry you were in the ICU all week. I just read that message. Oh, I'm so sorry. Our hearts go out to you. That can't be fun, and I'm so sorry. I guess if there's anything positive, you did get to see Doctor Strange, and for that, I'm jealous. I can't wait to see Doctor Strange. I want to see that. I want to see the Norseman. So, again, just waiting for these library elements to load up, waiting for my render to happen. Come on, people. Let's get it going. But that's where I'm at with this next step, is start to bring all of that into Photoshop, which again, I don't have time for because the rendering is taking a while. You can see the rendering right there. Wow, that's going to look different. But hopefully you guys appreciated this. I obviously like almost bit off more than I could chew. Because again, I was kind of tackling sort of creating 3D in Illustrator, dealing with some of these elements. I was going to bring some into Stager and start to add them, and then I also added the 2D elements with them. And yeah, I just need to put it all together. So I'm going to need more time, but hopefully you guys can still appreciate kind of what I'm doing at this point and where this will end up. So thank you so much, everybody. Once I get this done, yeah, I'm going to post it to Instagram and all the social medias, but it should be pretty cool once it's finished, just so you know. I'm excited about this like modern tattooed sort of David. I think it's going to be pretty neat. So give me some more time to work on that. And yeah, check out Joyce Manor too, because that's kind of where this is inspired. It's inspired by. So thanks so much, everybody. Good hanging out with you. I will see you all soon. I appreciate you guys. Stay happy and healthy out there. Heart goes out to Misty as well. Everybody stay safe, and we'll see you guys soon. See you guys next week. Thanks so much. Bye.